Hey there, welcome to the Mental Perk podcast. I'm Carla Hutcherson, licensed professional counselor.
And I'm Brandy Mock, entrepreneur, author, and community leader. And we're here to talk about
real people, real issues, and real talk.
Welcome back to Mental Perk. We are so excited today to have Anthony Monnin. He is the co-founder of Carry On, and he is from Dallas, Texas, and he spent 6 years in the Marine Corps.
Woo woo!
Thank you all. It's lovely to be here. Oh, the applause. Fantastic. I love it. Studio audience.
So tell us a little bit about what you are, who you are, and what you're doing for Carry On. How did it all get started?
First off, thank you all for letting me come out here on behalf of the Carry On family. It's great to come out here and represent them and be amongst wonderful people like yourself.
We love our veterans.
We do.
We appreciate the support. How did it all start? Well, myself and a colleague of mine who served with me back in the Marines named Jeremy Souls and another individual who's unfortunately no longer with us. We called him Slider, right there was his name. We were just sitting at the Katy Trail Ice House one day, and we're trying to reminisce and think of a unique and different approach to honoring the legacies of the fallen. And we, like anybody does when they drink alcohol, they come up with a great idea out there. You know, Albert Einstein did. So we thought,
it promotes creativity, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. The best work is done over drinks.
Absolutely.
I'm pretty sure.
The creativity was flowing that night, and we used to do a lot of PT, with a log back in the day, and we're figuring out like, hey, why not incorporate that somehow by carrying on the legacies of those that are fallen? So wake up in the morning after a horrific headache, we started getting right to work the next day. And the log itself is impressive. And we just basically, in our mission, we're here to honor the legacies of the fallen through the advocacy and empowerment of the families themselves, the ones that are there. I think it's important to obviously continue to carry on these legacies, not just through Memorial Day and all that, but obviously throughout the year as it is. So very blessed and honored to do that. Then.
How many logs have y'all done already?
We've got three. One here, we have the Texas Honor Log that's just stationed here. We also have the 9/11 Memorial Honor Log out there in Virginia Beach, Virginia. Virginia Task Force 2 out there takes care of that for us. And then we have a pretty much a nod to firefighters and police officers. There's a log in Blue Ash, Ohio. Their fire department out there is just outside of Cincinnati, and they up there have our third log. And we've got some others basically coming up here that we are kind of in the early phases of design.
Yeah, I think your goal is, correct me if I'm wrong, is to have a log in each state, a log representing each state.
That is the ultimate goal. 50 logs, 50 states there.
Yeah.
And I'm sure your listeners are wondering, okay, so what's with this log right here? What exactly it is?
Explain the symbolism of it, because it's very symbolic.
Correct. It is a walking memorial, if you will. And everything about it, from the length to the diameter to the carvings that are in there, all have a significant meaning. So when the log is 7 feet long, which is the average size of a military casket, the diameter of the log is 22 inches from tip to tip, from front to end. And that's kind of raising awareness again. There's statistics show that veterans on a daily are committing suicide at 22 vets a day. So we want to.
And that was one of my questions. So this isn't just line of duty veterans. This is also people who have fallen to mental health issues as well.
It falls right in line with that, whether it's PTSD or something.
I love that, because not everybody honors those that commit.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. And it's important to us too to try and reach out to those individuals who might be suffering. We've all been through there, myself included.
Yeah.
The log weighs 600 pounds. There's no real significance. It's a Texas red cedar. We kind of try to emphasize to our honor bearers, and I'll get more into that a little bit later, about, when you carry this log, which 6 individuals will carry it, which are our honor bearers, which would be the normal military funeral arrangement where 6 uniformed military or, in police or fire personnel will go and carry the casket. And that's what we're signifying right there, is carrying them and laying them to their last resting spot. So when they carry 600 pounds, we say that, our pain's temporary. So when we're finished with this, our bruises will heal, our pain will go away. We'll be able to go back to work the next day and carry on and enjoy our freedom that they so much have given to us. And when somebody, a family member, a friend, a mother, father, whoever it may be, loses their loved one, their pain's eternal. So we try to, it's kind of a thing to understand that, yeah, it's painful while you carry it to a point, but it's, remember, the families who lost someone, their pain's eternal. So there's also a bunch of carvings all over. The Texas honor log in particular is centered on all military. It's paying homage to all the Texans here who have paid and laid down and given the ultimate sacrifice. There's all the JSOC, Joint Special Operations Command units on there, Navy SEALs, Marine Raiders, and such. There's all the branches of the military. The 9/11 honor log out in Virginia Beach has an impressive memorial on there too, with the Twin Towers and the firefighters putting up the thing. That one is an impressive job, Aaron. And I want to give a shout out to Cam Dockery out there at Barely Making It is his company out there in Whit Harrell, I'm probably pronouncing it, Whit Harrell, Texas. And that's outside of Lubbock. This guy is a unbelievable one. We couldn't do this without him. He does this all pro bono for us. And we're talking about 30, 40 grand just to carve this log. Yeah. And he took on the challenge. It's not every day where you say, hey, I've got this 7-foot log. This is what we want to do. We got 2 months to do it. Can you do it? And without hesitation, Cam sat there and said, well, not only will I do this for you and have it done way before that timeline, I can't take a dime from you guys. And he's a wonderful man. It's TexasSaw.com. He does this for a living. This is how he feeds his family, is carving things from trees or anything else he can build from there. Wow, so, that's pretty much what the symbolism is behind the log and what it is and our honor bearers and what we ask them to do and remember as we're carrying along.
Now, and I don't know, you guys, the listeners will get the opportunity to see the logs, but let me tell you.
We'll put it up on our Facebook and our Instagram. We want you to see the fine work that they are doing, and they're just beautiful logs.
They're amazing, and, I've had the opportunity to do the walk with you guys in Virginia Beach and also, too, in Dallas, and
crushed it.
I watched Virginia Beach, a little timid to go into the carry part because, you just don't think you can do it, right? Well, you've got 5 other people on your back and you've got a team of people cheering you on. And let me tell you something. I didn't do it in Virginia Beach, but I watched such an amazing thing happen when these guys were walking down Virginia Beach. You had random people, Tony, walking up and literally asking if they could carry the log because they wanted to be a part of something so great. And it was just so touching. So talk about that. I mean, I saw lifeguards coming up, barefooted.
That was
carrying.
Great, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, he came running off of his lifeguard platform in bare feet and came up and it was about, 150 feet away. He comes running up, a sandal, and he goes, do you mind if I carry him? I'm like, well, you got any shoes? Nope. All right, well, here we go.
So, amazing.
And I'm happy you brought that up, Brandy, because that right there is just awesome with all those people who come in out of nowhere, and obviously those who have volunteered and continue on. And I think we talked about this not too long ago when, aside from the walking memorial itself and whether they contribute to the carry or whether they're volunteering or just someone who walks by and randomly just walks with us, I'll never forget this. The first time I've heard it, and I've heard it multiple times since, is that some of these vets will come up and they'll put their hand on the log and they start, either crying or they just kind of, they'll say a prayer or whatever, and then they'll flag myself or Jeremy or, Rick Hoke or anyone along, and they'll just say, hey, I just want you guys to know, you guys really inspired me today. I've been in a dark place since, my times overseas, and this showed me a way out of my, when I would like to compare it to like the walls are caving in, where things are getting rough and things are deep and dark. And he goes, you guys helped me pull myself out of this today, and I want to thank you, and I want to sign up for this next year, and I'll be in much better, I'll be ready to go from there. So those kind of things are amazing to hear.
When people walk up to you like that, or you hear those kind of stories, do y'all have a way to get them hooked up with different mental health professionals? Is there a way or a list or something that you guys have, or?
When it comes to the mental health side, I don't know the real blueprint. In your profession, you probably have a much better. We try to obviously center those off to the VA in a sense, or we do have a couple people who do carry who deal with that in particular. But, just off of what I've experienced, and again, I don't have the blueprint, and I think everybody's fight with it is different when it comes to it. I think the people who you were there with, the people who can relate to you, and just veterans alone, and that gentleman in particular, felt like he was part of a family, even though he didn't even know us, and he felt like he could open up to us, he could talk to us. So I think the first, thing about it is, one, being around those who can understand, those who can relate first. Seek any other avenue you can, but we try to, give them the proper, help, like yourselves in the profession, but also stick close to those who understand and might be able to relate to you, and you can open up a little more.
And I think that we've had first responders on before, and that's the one thing they always talk about, that it's really important when you're getting treatment to have that connection, to know that that person really understands your experience and what you've gone through. And a lot of times when they go to a mental health professional, they don't feel that connection. So I love the fact that, there's people in your organization who might have both, and that's such a neat connection for people who are struggling to find somebody.
You can't do it alone. And I believe you had that on one of your recent talks here recently, where we're all in this together. I believe that's your motto there on the way there. And we're all in this together when it's all said and done. You can try and play the tough guy. I know that somebody was talking about, like, on the surface, everything seems good, but underneath things are really, really hurting now in a way. But the first stage, it starts with you actually wanting to get up and seek that help with your team or with your healthcare professionals like yourself there, and use a combination of both right there.
Now, another thing I want to talk about too, and I may be stealing your joy on this one, but I've got to talk about when we're doing these walks, and I will say, when I did the Dallas walk, it's one thing to watch it. It is a total different thing to do it. And when I say that, is because you're doubting yourself. You're seeing these really big guys carry. And I'm not talking just big guys that are healthy. You've got some injured warriors that are in there wanting to do the walk. They're wanting to carry, to honor the fallen, to honor the ones that are still active and going. And I did not have a true understanding of it until I actually carried it with these guys. I mean, I got done and I was emotionally affected by it. I was physically affected by it. But just to know, like Tony said, when you're doing this walk, you're honoring so many things, and you really don't connect to that until you're actually doing it. But another cool thing that I noticed when we do these walks is, and I'm going to let you elaborate on this, is these guys will walk so far. They've got a village of people cheering them on, making sure they're able to carry and all that good stuff, guiding them. But then we take a break and we honor people. So I want you to kind of go into what you're doing with that, because it's if you're just walking in and you're seeing this log but you're not knowing, and you're watching these guys pull aside and talk, you're getting so much information and true stories about this. So tell us about that, Tony.
I'm glad you brought that up, because that's definitely an important part here to talk about. And that's so when we're walking and we have these stop points right there. We make sure everybody's obviously healthy and hydrating. But while we're doing that, we like to take a moment and read whether it be a Medal of Honor citation, or somebody who didn't have to be Medal of Honor recipient or anything like that, but just somebody who's paid the ultimate sacrifice. And we ask anybody in the entire group, would anybody like to share a story? Maybe somebody that's close to you or personal, or maybe he was a shipmate or a fellow team member, or whatever it may be. And you'll see grown men or wives and anyone like that just come forward, and they'll read the citation. What it does is, one, obviously it seems like it helps them, and obviously we honor that person as we continue on. But I think what's interesting as well is some people who sign up, really this is kind of like their first exposure to like honoring the fallen, if you will, and they're there all about it. But when they hear the stories and the impact that it has for them, and like Brandy was elaborating on here, just the impact that had on her just to carry that. And then those stories kind of just sit in their brain like, wow, what a great country we live in. What heroes we've been had over the decades and over time here. And it kind of just opens their eyes, gives them a moment to reflect. We pick the log up to honor that person individually, and we continue to press on. It's something we've incorporated since we started. We will continue to do that this year and moving forward. And it's just a good thing to honor the individuals one story at a time. Their story should always be told.
Is there a record that has their name somewhere, like the ones that you honor, or it's just kind of given that it's just out there?
There's many of different places you can go and look up. You can go up and look at Medal of Honor, .com. There'll be those but anyone who's a casualty of war or missing in action or anything like that is all listed online. Forgive me, I don't have the exact website to go to that, but I'm pretty sure you can Google anything and it's there and we're on there. Absolutely. I'll be happy to give that to you afterwards.
Absolutely.
Well, and then there was one story in Dallas, and I can tell you how powerful it is. Like, we complain about just everyday small stuff, right? And when you get to carrying that log, there's no whining. There's no crying because you're automatically thinking of the ones that sacrificed.
Right.
And that is so symbolic to me because it just speaks power in the little pain that we endure carrying the log is a forever pain that these guys have to endure, like Tony said. And I have seen people, whenever these guys are talking, I can't remember his name, Tony, but he was the one that he would not let the fallen, I think he was a 21-year-old young man that had gotten hit by an IED or something. And I don't know the specifics of the story, but to see this man, probably it could have been his first time to publicly talk about it, which I've seen happen with these walks. These guys feel empowered to be able to share their story without judgment, without any of that. And these men are in tears because they're finally, I think some of them are finally connecting, going, man, I'm not alone on this journey. Yeah. It's so powerful to me.
That's amazing. It really is. And so how much national support are you getting?
We do. We've got different states, different cities, anything. And we're still a 4-man operation, woman and man operation right here. And,
Way to go,
we're small. No, when it comes to even carrying or just supporting in general, anyone and everyone who's come up there and carried the logs. So I expect to see you out there, Carla. That's what that's right.
She will be there. For
sure. We've got pretty good support, and obviously we're building up again from a small local Dallas up to a national level right here. Yeah. We're putting in a little more effort into our social media and things like that, and doing something like this amongst your listeners is fantastic.
Absolutely, we want to get the word out there. We want to get you some national recognition through this program. So 100%. Hey, a couple of statistics, and I just looked up, and really statistics always are a couple of years behind, but just from the year 2006 to 2021, there was 18,571 active duty personnel who died while serving in the U.S. Armed Forces. So that doesn't even count all the ones that have died from PTSD, mental health issues, and things that have gone along after that. So, and that doesn't even get 22 and 23, 2022 and 2023 for us. So, I mean, lots of deaths out there that people just aren't aware of, and the sacrifices that not only these veterans made, but also their families have made.
Absolutely, and that's a startling statistic, and like you said, even the ones that aren't mentioned in there with all there is heartbreaking in itself, and we just try to take all those and honor their history and honor their story of what it is, and by doing that we do it in actually different ways other than just the log. We have something called the Community Core Program, where we take individuals, volunteers from all walks of the country right here, and when a widow or someone loses someone close, maybe it's their son or whatever it may be, or obviously their husband or wife, sometimes that person was designated to do certain things around the house, maybe do certain things around, whatever it is. And we've encountered this before where a wife lost somebody, a cop, and that guy would always obviously mow the lawn. That person would obviously do a bunch of other things. And our Community Core Program reaches out to those families. Now, it's crazy because they obviously everybody gives the support right off the bat. It's shocking. We want to be there. And just like in the natural way, we kind of go back to our lives and do what we can for them in there. But we always try to make sure that we're still there for them. We'll offer to, mow the lawn or, fix the AC or whatever it is that they do that this individual might have been in charge of, taking them to daycare, things like that.
I love that.
It's the Community Core Program. We're in the infancy stage of that right now, and we're actually going to start growing that out here in different areas in Virginia Beach, Virginia, and out here in Dallas and out in Fort Worth here. So we're very excited about that, and it's just another way to show, to remember and honor the legacies, but take care of their families because like we mentioned earlier, it's their pain that's eternal, and it's going to last for, ever.
Yeah.
Do you ever get any support from other organizations like Wounded Warrior or any of these others out there that are trying to also make those connections? Do y'all ever combine and do the events?
No, well, we've worked with, we've participated in events with Carry the Load locally here. We've never worked with them indirectly, and we're very grateful for them to have allowed us to participate in their events. This year in particular, we're doing our own event over at the White Rock Lake over there on Memorial Day, but we're always open to reaching out to different people out there who are obviously after the same goal to honor the legacies of the fallen.
Yeah, and there's different ones out there. I mean, I know Tunnels for Towers is really working hard to connect with those families and making sure they're taken care of, and just so many opportunities, it sounds like, to be able to support each other.
Absolutely.
So that's pretty awesome. I love all this. I mean, I know, Brandy, how many years have you been doing this?
Gosh, I've been doing it. When did you guys get started? This has been...
So we're on year 6. Right
so
now, 2018.
I've probably been involved since the beginning, but really actually started because it wasn't initially in Texas. I think it was started in Virginia, right?
No, it started here.
Oh, it started here.
Yep.
I'm sorry. But I really didn't do the walk and stuff. I've always tried to participate in them because I think it's such an amazing cause. But I'm a lifer now. You know that.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm a lifer.
When you have Brandy's support, you have the highest level of support. She's going to dig in until she gets you everything that you need. So let's talk about your event. It's on April the 27th. Is that correct?
So we're doing these guys are actually going to be out in Salina. Okay. Texas is having an event on April 27th, and I'll post more information about that. But it's going to be your local PD and your Firemen's Association. Okay. They're going to have a softball tournament, but they've asked Carry On to be out there to do an opening and to send them, get information out there to our first responders. Because again, like you said, it's just anybody that served in the military, first responders, they are the core of why we're here to me.
Absolutely.
And so I think it's important for these guys. So they'll be at that event. We'll be at that event. Mental Perk will be there.
We will be at that event if you want to come meet us in person.
Yeah, and then Memorial Day, which we'll get more information out there for the listeners. Go ahead and give details on that.
That's in that event going on April 27th. We're really excited about that. Thanks for getting that all squared away there. And the one emphasis also I want to make, aside from it being when we walk and we carry and we do that, these logs in particular are obviously memorial pieces. These logs have been used for display inside firehouses and police departments and government buildings. They've also been used as training tools for over in Garland SWAT. We've used it every year for their tactical SWAT course that they've got out there, and it builds camaraderie. It obviously raises the mission and what we're trying to push in front of a lot of new recruits out there. And we always encourage anyone and everyone, if you'd want to, present this in front of your business or something as a memorial piece for a while, please reach out, give us a call. We love moving around, getting the word out that way as well. As far as the event, we're locked in, May 27th, Memorial Day, White Rock Lake. The address will be posted on our webpage here. We're about to go live with all those postings tomorrow morning. You can register right there. We're going to start from 7:30 and probably go to about 2 o'clock. I know that seems like I hope your listeners aren't like, carry a 600-pound for 6 hours? Is this guy nuts? No, I want to reiterate, though, we've got a lot of volunteers that come out to this, 6 people on a log, and they'll carry it for roughly about 50 to 75 yards, and then they'll place it down, and then the next 6 will come in. It's a huge rotation. Is it going to hurt? A little bit. You might have a little something right here on your neck, but it'll heal. Yeah. But it's going to go from then at White Rock Lake, May 27th on that Memorial Day Monday, to 7:30 to 2.
Well, by the looks of you, I'm pretty sure I want to be on your team. I'm pretty sure.
We'll get it done. We'll get it done.
It's Tony the Beast.
I don't know.
The listeners will get to see a picture. Yeah. He is a beast.
We've got
a good-looking beast. He's a beast.
That's very thoughtful. I'll
move
on to the next thing. But what's also too is we've had a team full of women carry that thing for I'm not even kidding you.
A whole group of women, So 6 women on the log, which is, I think we did that for the first time last year in Dallas, didn't it?
We did it 2 years ago.
2 years ago in Dallas.
They all came in
Yeah.
said, step aside, boys.
Yeah.
I'm coming in and taking this. And they did.
They carried it. And
Oh,
I was a part of
goodness.
that. And that was so stinking neat because
That's
it is.
awesome.
Now, you have to get the one thing I've learned when you're
Size.
carrying these. Yes.
You got to be the right
I couldn't
height.
carry it next to Tony because
Okay.
he'd pretty much carry the whole thing.
Well,
Right.
Yes,
So,
yes.
but these guys are good about, making sure everybody's kind of even on the weight and making sure
Yeah.
we're strapped up good and giving you a good tutorial on how you carry.
Yeah.
You get plenty of examples of how to do it
Yeah.
when you're doing it, and then everybody follows. And the funny thing is you may have, let's say you got 20 people that are not obligated but committed to carrying as long as they need to carry. The more people that observe you carrying, the more they want to be a part of it. And that is what's so cool about it. They have no idea. You could be a jogger. So any joggers out there, if you're at White Rock or biking, do not hesitate to put the bike down, stop running, and just jump in and help because it is that kind of neatness and fun, and it's a good feeling. I don't even know how to say
it brings community together.
it
It makes
does. I
people
mean-
It really
really.
does. And it's not just military; it's your first responders, like we
Responders.
said.
We
Police,
ask anyone
firemen.
and everyone. You don't have to be military, first responder. We used to, the first year we did that, we kind of centered it on that as a thing, but then we opened the floodgates to, civilians because they're just as, patriotic, if not supportive
Yeah.
of those who've done it. And it's been fantastic. So we encourage everyone and anyone. You don't got to be, a Hercules or anything like that. We just ask, you can carry once or you can carry the whole time. It's all entirely up to you. Just you showing up, walking and being there with us and pushing out the mission for us is more than enough. So we always preach safety. We're we've never
Yeah.
had one incident since we've done this. We're up top. We always have our licensed paramedics and even a physician
First
at a time or two.
responders,
Yep.
paramedics.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hiring them when they're off the off the clock right there. So we're very cautious and careful, and we're always observing safety. But I will have to tip my cap. Those women carried that log. Almost like 250 yards, and they did it.
Way to
And I
go.
even wanted to stop them. Whoever was the team leader that day said, "Nope,
We're gonna keep
Are we
going."
good, girls?"
Yeah.
And then they just kept going.
It
was
wasn't
awesome.
me. It was just for the record. It wasn't me that said keep going.
Well, I don't
I
argue.
kept going.
I don't
kept
argue.
going.
I don't
They're
argue
dragging
with.
Brandy. You see feet marks.
The toes are running on the concrete. Yeah.
And I don't argue with women either when it comes that they say move out of the way. I've got this.
You've learned well.
I'm out
You've
the
learned
way.
well. Yeah. So let's also talk about, we'll go back into the log carry too, but let's talk about you and your band and what you guys are doing. He's laughing, y'all. He's actually got a really good band.
Wait, is he instrument or singer?
He's
Well,
instrument.
I mean, am I in the shower? It's singing, but no, I'm an instrument there. Right? So no, that's what it is.
You're the drummer, right?
Yeah, we play a couple other instruments, but it's just drumming for the band. So on May 26th at Barley House, who's been a very big supporter
Yes,
next
they
to
have.
Katie Trail Ice House as well locally.
Yes,
they
they
both
have.
have been
Amazing.
fantastic, and I'll hit on KTI's contributing portion of it at the end of when we carry. It's an amazing ceremony, which I'll
amazing.
talk about that in
Yeah.
a second. But on the 26th at Barley House, which is off SMU Boulevard there, from 5 to 9, we're going to be doing a fundraiser. And this all proceeds go into the Carry On movement, whether it's the Community Core program or obviously the future logs we've got in store.
Is that the 26th of April or May?
Excuse me, sorry, May
Okay,
26th,
perfect.
2024 at Barley House from 5 p.m. to 9. All this will be posted and
Okay.
blown out there on social media and other avenues. We're going to be providing live music with my band called The Bad Decisions. Let's not get into how that got named or anything.
I
you know.
I think
We
the name
know.
speaks for itself.
I don't want to say I didn't have a hand in naming that, but I
But
did.
you did.
Though.
Yeah.
So, but it's
It was probably one of those creative nights that y'all were letting the juices
Drinking.
flow.
Yep.
actually on that one. I didn't have a beverage whatsoever.
Oh,
I don't know how.
Maybe
that
it was
come.
like, hey guys, you guys are making a lot of bad decisions. And Tony's like, bad decisions.
Well, you reflect on your life and you say, yeah, I made some really, really bad decisions there.
So talk about the fundraiser, though, that
Yeah.
you guys are doing. I think
so,
it's cool.
You know, with the assistance of Miss Brandy here as well, who's been a huge supporter of Carry On since its inception there. We can't thank you enough. We're going to be taking any kind of donations from several different companies right now, and everything's been grateful to donate to us. And we're going to raffle off a bunch of different of these donations. We're also going to be accepting anyone who wants to sign up for the carry. It's the last day before the carry, so might as well go do it. There'll be great music there. There's obviously food and beverages there and everything. So you'll be in great spirit of camaraderie as well. There'll be a lot of different people, a lot of different personalities coming from around the country, as far as, believe it or not, Hawaii, and as far as east as Virginia. Yeah. So we've got a lot of good. I hope everybody can come out, meet some very good people here locally too. There'll be a lot of different police and fire presence there as well. But the band, which is, I'm sorry to say, it is a cover band. We're creative, but we're not have enough time to be that creative to do our own.
What, y'all sing like Taylor Swift? What do you sing?
Well, I mean, I got a mic in front of me right now. Are we going to start? No, we play a little mixture of everything. We kind of try to keep the audience on their toes. You know, maybe we'll start with, Red Hot Chili Peppers one second, and then next thing you know, maybe it jumps out to ZZ Top, and then it goes to Aerosmith.
Good stuff.
So I would say our genre is obviously classic hard rock and 90s alternative. It's a mixture of that.
Okay, I love that.
And let me tell you, the house is full. I mean, it's full from, it's like 3 layers back at the bar, and it's a packed house. It's a packed house. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and we're on Instagram at Bad Decisions DFW. You can see our absurd picture that's on there. There are 4 band members there, though. But we enjoy it. It's just, and believe it or not, I want to actually tie that into mental health. We talked about many different avenues to go about doing this. And when I was in my dark days, aside from talking with the boys, was music. And that is kind of a, and even one of the guys in the band would say the same thing, that this is what has helped me and lifted me up right there. And, so if you may not have the answer, something there, it might be standing right there in front of you with something you really, really enjoy doing that can help you lift and you take it to the next level and then get you out of that dark time. So this band is fun. We don't really even do it for money. We just do it for fun. And obviously these guys were kind enough to do this pro bono for us so we can go and carry on a great event on that day, though. So
that's amazing.
It's been great.
And then Katy Trail, let's talk about Katy Trail, what it does.
Absolutely.
Katy Trail Ice House, right?
Yeah, Katy Trail Ice House. Let me tell you, I'm going to let you fill it in, but cold chills, that's all I can tell you. It is phenomenal after they do this walk, what they do at Katy Trail. So go ahead. Katy Ice House.
So after we've all, got licked our wounds and our bruises and everything afterwards, and we all move over to the Katy Trail Ice House. And what happens is, and I got to give a huge, huge shout out to Jimmy and Buddy and all of them over there at the Katy Trail Ice House. They've been so kind for us to let us do our ceremony, what we call our closing ceremony there. The Dallas police have been nothing but spectacular to come out there and come out in full dress uniform and do a flag folding presentation and play taps for us. So what we'll do is
beautiful.
6 or 7 honor bearers will come in and carry the log on their shoulder, and we'll place the log down on its stands. And the whole, if you've ever been to Katy Trail Ice House, the outdoors is usually pretty loud and animated, and so is the trail over there, right there. And when they bring it in, all the music stops. Everybody just seems like they stop for a minute, and they'll stand. Some just want to watch and video. And then once we place that log down, we take the flag. The flag was donated to us by one of our co-founders, Rick Hoke. Again, unfortunately, he's no longer with us. His mother gave us this flag, which was the flag of her husband who died in Vietnam. So we've got an unbelievable flag for that. So we'll drape it over there, and then Dallas Police comes in and puts on an amazing display and they'll come in, play taps, fold the flag. The flag gets handed to usually our guest of honor or guest speaker or anything like that. We've had, obviously Rick Hoke's mother came in for that one time, and she took the flag, and he'll present it to her just like they would in a ceremony when they're doing a flag folding ceremony, and then on behalf of a grateful nation, and then salute it and do an about face, and then they'll walk in sequence off, and then usually they'll either hold on to the flag or put it on top of the log right there. And it never gets old. It never gets old, and it always sends chills when that horn is playing and taps is playing and the flag is being folded. And what's so amazing too, for that one moment right there, there's not a sound. You
can hear a pin
going
drop.
on. You can hear a pin drop, and people who are even walking the trail will stop their running or they're, walking or whatever, and just come over there and just be respectful and watch the whole presentation. It is a tearjerker. It still sends, chills down my spine. And that's kind of the cherry on top of, remembering and honoring those who have fallen, because that is exactly how it goes in a ceremony burial right there.
Well, Mental Perk commits to being there, and we are going to provide a live feed to make sure anyone who can't get to the Katy Trail Ice House will be able to watch the ceremony and be a part of the day on a live feed.
And Mental Perk is going to actually sponsor.
Yes, we are.
Carry On, because we are just such huge advocates for our first responders, our military, and the wellness of your mental health. And I think what you guys are doing is just fantastic. It's something that everyone can be a part of. And so I feel honored that Mental Perk's going to be a part of this and get the 100%. Word out.
Well, we certainly appreciate that support on behalf of the Carry On family. That we really do. Every little bit helps, and you guys this has been great. And I want to reach out to those listeners, too, who might be going through that struggle. Don't hesitate to message us on there, online or whatever. Absolutely. We're not professionals. We'll obviously help you with anything we can. But, just sometimes maybe you just want to reach out and chat and talk about something or whatever. And I'm thinking of everyone who's involved with this would have no problem with just sitting there, having a sit down and a chat and reaching out to those and pushing them to the right, people to talk to.
And if you reach out to Carry On, they can reach out to us, and we will make sure you get connected with help. We will make sure that we find resources for you.
Yeah, and if you're interested in donating anything for this upcoming event, whether it be monetarily or you want to donate a vacation home that we can raffle off or whatever to help support this cause, please
cause.
Reach out to Mental Perk and let us know. And what is the website that everybody can go to again?
So the website is www.carryon-usa.org. That's www.carryon-usa.org. And everything will be posted that we've discussed today on there. And there'll also be a link for you to register. We're hoping to have a even bigger turnout. We've had a lot of great momentum coming off of our 9/11 Virginia Beach event that we put out there, and we're putting in a lot more resources in for this one. And it doesn't matter. Again, if you don't want to carry, that's fine. You can volunteer. We've got other things you can do for us. Please, anyone who wants to participate, we're more than happy just to have you there. And again, it's about honoring the legacies of the fallen. That's what it really is. It doesn't matter how big and strong or how long you can carry that log or whatever. That's not the meaning of it. We don't need that. What we need is people who will respect and honor the legacies of the fallen and continue that mission with us.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Tony, for being a guest on our show. We hope that everybody learned something today, and we hope to see you guys at the Barley House and also, too, at the Katy Ice House and also,
Katy Trail Ice House,
White Rock Lake. So please join us.
Thank you all very much. This has been fantastic.
Mental Perk is super excited to be a part of the Carry On event this Memorial Day weekend. Tony's episode was recorded a couple weeks ago, and since then we've had a couple of location changes we wanted to make sure all of our listeners know about. We will also post this on our social media, but we want to make sure you understand the new locations. Brandy, take it away.
Thank you, Carla. So the new location, we're still doing the walk at the White Rock Lake at 4100 West Lothar Drive in Dallas. Starts at 7:30 a.m. until 2. Afterwards, though, we are going to shift the closing ceremonies to the Smoky Rose in Dallas. The address is 8602 Garland Road in Dallas, Texas, and that will be from 2:30 on the 27th. We hope to see everybody there. The closing ceremony is amazing, and we want everybody to be a part of it. So if you've listened to our show for a while and you want to meet us up close and personal, please join us that day.
Just come shake our hand or give us a hug. We love it. We want to meet all of you out there.
Free hugs. Free hugs.
Free hugs are good. And also, Brandy, is there an event the night before the walk?
Yes. So the night before, if you guys want to have fun, and we're raising money for the cause, Mental Perk's going to be a part of hosting the event. It's going to be at the Barley House, which is 5612 SMU Boulevard in Dallas, Texas. And the time is from 5 to 9. They'll have an awesome band there singing. We'll have events. We'll have stuff to
give to auction off. Yeah, we're going to auction off some things, right?
I totally went blank. Sorry, Bradley. So we'll be doing raffles.
Raffles and auctions, right?
Just raffles.
Just raffles. We are raffling.
We're raffling off items, which are really good items. And so we want everybody to come show their support and meet us, Mental Perk.
Absolutely, because we want all of you to know
You're worthy. We're in this together.
If you or anyone you know is struggling with any mental health issues, we want you to reach out to a friend, a trusted family member, somebody you trust. We want you to get connected with a professional. If you are having self-harm thoughts or suicidal thoughts, we want you to get immediate help. Dial 911, go to the nearest ER, or you can call the National Suicide Hotline at 988. We at Mental Perk want you to know you're worthy. We're in this together.